Today, I'm gonna show you guys how to build a launch ramp. Let's get it. All right, so the first stop of our journey, we got to go to Lowe's, and we're gonna pick up some wood. I already have some supplies here, but I need a couple more things to make the. My dog is just like acting all crazy right now. Oh my goodness, why you do that? Judy, what are you doing? Next stop, Lowe's. First thing we need to find is a new jigsaw blade, because my jigsaw blade is a little bit beat up. Decisions. We'll go with more. For the YouTube channel, I have to. I'm filming right now while I'm on the phone with you. It's literally filming.
Register down there. I know, they're a mess over there. Yeah, it'll be a mess over here too. I know. But you gotta do paper.
I'd rather watch paint dry. Nice.
We've already been patient for like 30 minutes. Now that we made it back from Lowe's, it's time to build this ramp. I'm going to show you everything you need to get this done right. All right, now let me say, not everything that you see right here is absolutely necessary to get the job done. These are just some tools that will really make it easier for you. But I'll let you know as we go along what is absolutely necessary and what you could probably do without. Let's start building. All right, so you may have noticed that there was a board with a screw in it and some string. This is actually a really important thing, so you definitely need some string. You don't necessarily need the board, but you need something to secure this string because this is how we're going to get our radius. So I'm going to be doing an 8-foot radius on this kicker ramp. So I measured out an 8-foot long piece of string and attached it to this board. So I'm going to show you how we're going to get the radius. Alright, so this board right here, it's 2 feet by 4 feet, and this is perfect for doing what I'm going to do. We're going to build a 1.5 foot tall kicker ramp. So we got to draw the transition on this, and we got to cut it because this is going to be our sidewalls. All right, so what I'm doing right here, I'm using my garage. It's a flat surface. It's good to find some sort of flat surface. This helps because I have this line right down the middle, which is going to show me that the wood is squared up. So what we want to do is get our crayon. I'm using a square. You can use a tape measure. I'm going to go 18 inches, and I'm going to mark it. So now what we do is we want to play with the string. So I have my string attached to a piece of 2x4 and I put a dirt bike ramp on it. I set it up to where I have just a little bit of space, about an inch, on the bottom of this side piece of wood that we're going to have. So I messed around with the angle of where the wood's at because I want it to be coming on a down angle so that when the wood runs off the ramp, it goes to the ground. Now, I messed with this and I ran my finger along it and I see the transition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my crayon inside of this string right here, right there. And I'm going to set it right on the 18-inch mark. And now, this is the hardest part because you got to keep tension. And you just draw your transition. So I messed up a little bit. Just go over it again. That looks pretty good. All right, so now we have our transition drawn. This looks like a dialed setup for me, so we're going to run with it. Now, the trickiest part of this whole thing is drawing the transition and cutting the transition, so you want to make sure that you're careful during those parts. So we're going to set this up. I'm going to set up my work table, and we're going to cut it. Normally, this would be something you would want to get help from a friend to hold the wood. I use a C-clamp because I'm doing this by myself, and luckily I have a C-clamp. Alright, safety first. Don't know where my safety glasses are, but I got my moto goggles, so making it happen. Woo! Messed up a little bit right here. But we can fix that with the sander.
It's gonna be a booter.
Alright, so our next plan of attack is to square up this side piece of wood. Alright, now that's all squared up, we're going to take our Sharpie and we're just going to scribe along the edge. And now we have our other side marked off and ready to go. So we're going to put this off to the side for now. Alright, so I only messed up a little bit right here, and that's because my cord got stuck. But a little bit of sanding, this will be perfect. Okay, so what I've done here is I've clamped the two side pieces of our transition together, and I'm going to do one more pass with the power sander along the edge so that it equals both sides become even. So we're going to sand it so that they're both the same exact transition. You don't have to do this, but to me, I feel like why not make it perfect if we have the time to make it perfect. So we're gonna sand these two pieces together to make it even. Now we have a pretty much near identical transition on both sides. It's microscopically off in certain areas. We could technically keep going, but I think once we throw the plywood on top of it, the surface layer is going to absorb any of those little imperfections. I personally want the overall width of the ramp to be 2 foot 4 inches. So we're going to mark it at 2 foot 3 inches on the 2x4 to account for the width of the transitional pieces. Put a little mark. And this is where you want to have any sort of square. One of these guys will work perfectly fine, especially for this. Mark it. Alright, so it's safe to say that at this point, if you're building a ramp, you probably already have a jigsaw. You can totally use a jigsaw to cut your 2x4s, but I happen to have a miter saw, and it's going to make sure that my cuts are 100% straight. So I'm going to use that. If you have one, use that. If not, use what you got and it'll still work perfectly fine. Alright, just to speed the process up, we're going to use this piece to mark the spot. I'm going to skip ahead to all of these being cut. Alright, so now that we got all these support pieces, I'm pretty sure 6 is all that we're going to need, but I will make the executive decision as to whether we should cut one or two more after we start putting this thing together. I've marked the bottom of the ramp right here because we want to cut off these thin little edges. I have it so it's on the transition, is still angling down towards the floor. That way when we put our wood over it, the wood just meets the ground nicely. So we're just going to chop this off really quick. We're going to pre-drill 2 holes, and then we're going to screw this support beam in. First support beam in there. Now I want to run another one across here. Alright, well the ramp is completely framed. Now we just have to put a nice sheet of wood over this, nice sheet of plywood, and we're ready to go to Narnia. Alright, what I'm doing here is I put the ramp underneath this so that when I'm cutting it, this doesn't fall all the way and then cinch the blade. Is it hard to take me serious when wearing these dirt bike goggles? Right here. That looks about where, if it keeps going, it'll be on the ground. So now we gotta cut this really quick. Alright. Let's get some pre-drill action. It's coming along so sick. I mean, we just gotta put in a couple more screws, fit the top piece, and we're ready to shred. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, we have the final piece. Okay, so this is why test fitting is a good thing. I just realized that we do need to add one more 2x4 that goes this way, because this doesn't quite meet the top of the face of the ramp. So if I left it, it would get a little bit of flex and it would kind of bow in. So nothing wrong with making the ramp a little bit stronger. So we're going to add one more 2x4. Alright, so we got this thing fixed up perfectly. We never give up, we just adapt and move forward. So let's get this last piece on this thing and call it a day. And let's check out what we built today. Alright, so I just showed you what the ramp looked like when we put in the last screw. But I went ahead and went the extra mile, and this is what it looks like after sanding the whole ramp. Alright, so we built the ramp, now we gotta test it. And there you guys have it. We went out, we went to Lowe's, we were there for like 9 hours, we got the supplies, we came back, we measured it out, we cut it, we built it, we put it together, it's dialed, we tested it, I was really hoping to finish this before it got dark or too late, but it took a little bit longer because I was filming the video. But that just means next week's episode is going to be insane. We're going to take this thing on a mission. It's going to go to an abandoned water park. It's a very famous spot. You guys may or may not have heard of it or seen it before, but if you want to see it, you're going to have to hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, smash that thumbs up because I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys for the next video.